As part of our strategy series on our website, let's answer the question of, if you're a small organization, do you really require a strategy? Do you really require going through a strategic planning process? Well, I think the answer is absolutely yes. As an entrepreneur myself, running a 5-person company, I'll tell you, for ourselves to actually go through a strategic planning process is critical. I think there's, and I think there's a few points around that answer that are worth talking about. I think when you're running a small organization, it's an all hands on deck type scenario. There's always so much going on and so few people and resources to deal with those things that everybody's sort of doing everything. And I think that's the challenge of running a small business and transitioning it out of that hyper-reactive mode, out of that all hands on deck mode, and actually transitioning it to a business that's more proactive around setting a clear future on where it wants to be and getting people aligned around delivering that. That's a good segue into number 2, which is setting the clear direction. Running a small entrepreneurial organization, or if you're running a small organization, it's absolutely critical that you're setting a clear direction for the organization, and people understand what that is and where you're trying to take things. The next aspect is, because in doing that, we're able to, where we want to get to is this transfer of accountability. What we want to happen is, or what I see happening is, people who run small businesses typically take on so much burden onto themselves. They take on so much burden onto their own shoulders, and they can't effectively get that out to their teams. They can't get their teams aligned around what they're trying to achieve and how they're trying to go about achieving it. And that's because they haven't articulated that to those people. The strategic planning process facilitates that. It says, here's where we want to be, here's all the things that have to happen to get us there, and in defining what those things are, now you're finally in a position that you're able to transfer that accountability out to your teams and get them working on the priorities so that they're able to help you guys deliver on getting you to your full potential fastest. And the last point I want to make is, in doing this, it finally allows the business to move forward without you, without the key person who's running that small organization. Maybe the entrepreneur, again, maybe just a manager in charge of that business. But what I find, again, is without having this documented, without having this clarified, without having taken what's going on in your head and clarified that in the form of a strategy or strategic plan, it can never operate without you. And so, but when we finally do that and finally get that out, then and finally get that accountability transferred out to the team, when you're off doing other things, maybe that's time off or just focused on growing new parts of the business, what have you, that the team still understands what they need to be working on in order to deliver on full potential, in order to deliver on that future direction that you want. Thank you for watching the video. I'm Brad Pickering, President and Founder of Innovate Advisory, and I look forward to working with you in the future.